Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Monster Tamer News, the segment on this channel where we go over the last week's developments in the monster taming genre. Now, this week we have the release of Aethermancer in early access, which is performing quite well from what I can tell in terms of sales. Palworld announced their own pokopia. Not actually, but it's still funny. We got a new trailer for Animo and more. So as per the usual, sit back, relax, subscribe for more monster taming content, and let's dive in. Okay, so first of all, Aethermancer just released on Steam in early access, and let me just say that I absolutely love the pixel art and the amount of time and detail that was put into this game. Monster Sanctuary is one of my favorite monster taming games of all time, so it's not surprising that Aethermancer has a high level of quality as well. That being said, I was kind of worried because there's been so many monster taming roguelikes, and a lot of them haven't really been doing well in terms of sales and player numbers and whatnot. I think this is just because a lot of people are starting to get kind of like fatigued with these types of games. I get tons of comments from people when I discuss roguelike monster tamers that express this, and I'm not really a big roguelike guy myself. However, I'm very happy to say that Aethermancer, at least on the Steam charts, seems to be doing about twice as well as Monster Sanctuary, which is great to see. There are a few roguelike games that I actually do enjoy. One of them was Abomination, and Aethermancer is another good one that I think did a really good job of making its game world still feel very rich. Make sure to check it out on Steam, and congratulations to the developers for this achievement. Since the IP was such a success, I'd love to see an Aethermancer RPG in the future. Digimon Story Time Stranger is releasing in a few days on October 3rd or 2nd, depending on your time zone. And I'm sure if you've been following the channel, you've seen all of the Digimon content, and let me just say that I'm just getting started. I have a really special collaboration video coming out tomorrow, and I've got a ton of full version guides and breakdowns that should have you guys nice and satiated with Digimon content. Despite the fact that I kind of fell off Digimon at the time of Frontier as a kid, I really did start getting back into it a few years ago, and it's always been a lingering thought, even when I wasn't as deep dived into the franchise. It's really nice to see that they're making a big return within the last few years, and I'm all about it. Now, I've got some pretty big news for those who are fans of the Monster Hunter Stories series. We did just get confirmation that Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2 will both be coming to the Xbox, which is something that I know a lot of people have been wanting. The trailer you're seeing on screen is from that announcement, and I'm hoping that the third installment does just as well as the last one, because I think Monster Hunter Stories 2 sold like 2 million copies or something like that. The game's coming out in March 2026, so another big monster taming game just a few months after Time Stranger is definitely going to be a nice thing to see. We've got a brand new trailer for Animo, courtesy of the 2025 Tokyo Game Show, which basically just shows off some of the game's monsters and beautiful graphics that the game has to offer. I do have a video playing this game's demo and another one going over everything you need to know, both of which will be linked below, but it's going to be a free-to-play game, so I'm still a little bit skeptical just because a lot of free-to-play games end up being way too heavy with the microtransactions. So Palworld actually revealed their own cozy spin-off title called Pal Farm, which essentially is a monster taming and farming game, not something we haven't seen in the genre many times already with games like Ova Magica and Moonstone Island. This game in particular seems to have an inspiration from games like Animal Crossing, and is just really funny that it was revealed not too long after Pokopia, which a lot of people have already said that this is Palworld's version of that. However, it is impossible that they just drafted up this game that quick after the Pokopia announcement. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if they were already working on this and decided the reveal trailer should happen at this time because it was like the perfect way to capitalize on the Pokopia hype train and stir up a little bit of controversy, because as someone pointed out in one of the comments of the trailer, it just feels like they're trolling Nintendo at this point. That being said, I'm not a cozy gamer. I'm not really into farming games that much. I think Moonstone Island was like the one exception because it lets you focus way more on the adventure aspect, but if you are into these types of games, there you go. Honestly, I would love to see the Palworld developers make more spin-off titles. I think they could do really good if they made like a sort of contained version of Palworld that plays maybe a little more like a Far Cry game, having a story, open world. They already got the towers. That has more of a focus on combat and less on like base building and survival. They could also make a turn-based RPG, which would be absolutely hilarious. They could even pixel art it if they wanted to. They could make like a Souls meets Pokemon sort of Zelda adventure-esque game as well. There's so many different avenues they could take with the Palworld franchise. The IP has a lot of potential, and I'm expecting to see a lot more from them in the future. And there we go, guys. Those were the major updates this week in the monster taming genre. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do want to stay up to date on all things monster taming, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as this is your one-stop shop. Special thanks to our supporters, especially Candy Marunci, Tragsoft, Valorware, Nemo, and Wrathful Beast, and we'll see you next time. Peace.